So the other day, someone posted a comment asking for help on how to get Planet Crafter modded on the Steam Deck. Now, the Steam Deck runs Linux, whereas Planet Crafter is meant to be run natively on Windows. So obviously there's going to be some changes, but it's really not that difficult. And now, while I am specifically targeting how to install and mod Planet Crafter on the Steam Deck for this video, this really applies for SteamOS. If you are running the Steam Deck with Windows as the install instead, or running another handheld gaming console with Windows on it, you can follow my other video. So first up, obviously, you need to go ahead and install the game. And we're going to do this just from the normal Steam interface, not the desktop mode, just the normal gaming mode. And I'm going to just put it on my internal drive. You can put it on your SD card. The way I'm going to show you how to do this, it won't really make that big of a difference in the end. And once you have the game downloaded, you can go ahead and open the game one time just to make sure everything loads correctly. You don't even have to actually start a game with this, just need to get it up and running one time to make sure the game runs without issue. And once you know the game is running and you don't have any problems with the initial installation, press the Steam button on your Steam Deck to bring up the Steam menu, and we're going to go all the way down to power, and we're going to switch to desktop mode. And now I definitely encourage you at this point to go ahead, if you can, plug up a little USB-C hub and get a keyboard and mouse plugged in, because it will make working in this mode a lot easier for this. And if your screen looks different, your icons look different, that's okay. I'm going to show you the generic way. We're just going to do this as simple as possible. So first things first, go here to your Steam icon, and you're just going to left click, go to library, and we're going to click over here on Planet Crafter, and we're going to, if you're using a mouse, right click so we can bring up the sub menu, go to manage, go to browse local files. Now this brings up the Planet Crafter folder, which you can see the path here. You can always go this way to get to it if you want, but it's just so much easier to go into library and browse local files. As you can see, here we have all our normal stuff, including planetcrafter.exe, which highlights as a DOS Windows executable, because this is running Windows native. This is not running in Linux. This is getting translated and bottled up to make it run under Linux. So I think that's where part of the confusion can come in on how to get this modded with Bepinex. Next, go ahead and get your browser open. If it's Chrome or a different one, doesn't matter. We just need to open our browser. And you're going to go to the Bepinex releases page. You can get to it through this URL here that I'll put right on the screen in nice big text. And as of making this video, we are currently on Bepinex 5.4.23.1. We're going to scroll down here, and I'm going to get the Bepinex Win for Windows x64, because this is a 64-bit executable. I'm just going to click download. And when it's finished, I'm going to go ahead and click on this, and it will open right up. Now, this is where having the Planet Crafter directory already open helps, because all you have to do is go in and highlight all of the items and then click and drag right over into the Planet Crafter folder. So now that we have Bepinex in place, there's one more thing we need to do real quick before we start putting in mods, because right now we are missing some of the extra folders in there. There's no plugins folder. So go back to library, your Steam library. We're going to right click again, and we're going to go to properties. Now under general, at the very bottom, we're going to see launch options. And this is where you're going to type in the following command. So this is wine DLL overrides equals quotation mark when HTTP equals N, comma, B, close quotation mark, %command%. Now, for non-technical people, this can be a weird one, so just check it over. And once you're ready, click the close X on it. Now, let's go ahead and go right here to the icon on the desktop and launch the game one time. Now the game is open. because I've got it open in desktop mode, I can actually go over here and double check to make sure everything worked, and it did. You see, I have more than just the initial core folder. I have patchers, plugins, all the stuff I needed. So we know now that Bepinex has been triggered when the game opened. So now closing back out, we have one last step, and that's the fun one, to go and get some mods. So I'm going to start with a simple, easy one to show that it's working, the item stacking mod or cheat inventory stacking mod. Going to do my download, and once the download is done, I'm just going to click on it to open, and then back over here in this folder, I go to plugins, and I'm just going to take the whole folder, not just the DLL, the whole entire folder, just drop it in. There it goes. Now we can double click, open Planet Crafter again. Great. Now let's make a new game and finally actually get in and play a little bit. And now I walk outside. If you look in the bottom right of the game screen, you can see it already says modded. But you know what? Let me prove that it actually is. So I grabbed a bunch of supplies, and normally opening inventory would have those supplies just spread through the whole inventory. But as you can see here, I have my inventory stacking, which is exactly what the mod is supposed to do. So there you go. I have a working mod on the Steam Deck. So at this point, you close everything out and just go up here to the icon that says return to gaming mode. Now, once this goes through the fresh boot up sequence back into the gaming mode, you'll be back here presented with your normal screen, and we go ahead and click to play Planet Crafter. At this point, the configuration for the launch option should stay and not get changed, and now you can just launch it like this. And whenever you want to add a new mod, unfortunately, you will need to go back to desktop mode and go through the process of downloading the mod, tossing it in, doing all of that. But now here we are back in normal gameplay style. We still get this weird artifacting thing when it loads up. That's okay, because it still loads the game and it's still playable. And as you see, I've still got the modded status, and it reset. I didn't save anything, but hey, I've got the game working with a mod on the Steam Deck. There you go. Now, obviously, not every mod is going to be completely compatible this way. You may run into problems with certain mods that do not work on Steam Deck, but work on the regular Windows installation. And unfortunately, that's not something I can really help you with. That might be just something that's different between the way it runs natively in Windows and the way it has to run on the Steam Deck. But for the most part, I expect most mods are going to work no differently, since this is running just a Windows version of the game, bottled up to run on SteamOS. So if you've been struggling to try and get Planet Crafter modded on the Steam Deck because you prefer to play it on the Steam Deck, and this video helped you out, then hey, help me out, hit that like button, and just hey, leave a comment saying thanks.